The following program is rated PG and is closed captioned. Parental guidance is recommended for people under 15 years.
I trust these are deluxe accommodations.
Well, if you're looking for something fancy, you better try Knob Hill. Otherwise, it's going to cost you 15 cents. That is, if you got the change.
My dear chap, I find myself in a rather unusual position.
That goes on every night. They don't enjoy it unless they kill each other. Hey! Come on. Hey. Will you break? Come on now! Let's get a lesson.
Oh, gentlemen, violence is no way to settle anything.
I just rolled over in my sleep and he got touchy, that's all.
Well, there's no cause for any further worry. You, sir, why did you sleep in the bunk and you here? I shall sleep in the middle. Now shall we get a good night's rest? And thank you, my good man, for settling everything.
Hey, you owe me 15 cents for the night.
Oh, in the confusion, you must have forgotten I paid you.
You paid me? I don't recall.
Yeah, it's my dime and my nickel.
That's your dime and your nickel. All right. Now, y'all keep it down in here. And don't you try anything either.
Your distrust of your fellow man will lead you to great unhappiness. May I borrow this newspaper? I found that reading helps me doze off.
It's not mine. It's the one I got.
Thank you, sir.
But just be careful.
Hey, mister, you are an artist. I mean, the way you conned that clerk out of 15 cents, I thought he was going to hand you change.
Poor soul had merely forgotten that I'd paid him.
Oh, come on. Look, you don't have to kid me. I'm in the same line of work, only I'm not that good. Hey, the name's Jordan, Gil Jordan.
How do you do? Mine's Bradley Meredith.
Hey, how come you're stuck in a rat hole like this?
Not to say it's merely a one-way stop on the road to better things. Oh, it's becoming a frightful nuisance. But one must get used to it.
Is that your twin brother?
No relation at all.
Must be a very rich man. Says he's the largest rancher in the state.
I would say a millionaire once or twice over. I had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Cartwright. Thanks to our inordinate resemblance, he almost became a most generous benefactor. Unfortunately, my accomplices were both stupid and greedy.
You should have had me along.
One can't look back to yesterday. However, Mr. Cartwright's sabbatical might provide an excellent opportunity for another visit. Yes, one will need the necessary financing.
He's got some money in his back pocket. I almost had it, but there's no chance now.
My friend, one lives by one's wits.
the both of you.
No need to become alarmed. Your snoring is keeping us from getting any sleep.
Oh?
It's lying on your back that does it. If you would just turn over on your side. Time to put this coat on.
Mr. Cartwright, you remember what Hobson said. No eat too much of that fancy food.
I'll be careful.
What you forget?
I didn't forget a thing, Hobson. Nothing. You know, the way he acts, you'd think that whole celebration was just for him.
I wish it were.
Oh, it's a great honor.
Oh, I know it is. Well, a man should know what he's accomplished in life without somebody having to give a speech and present a scroll to him.
I got everything, Hobson. Shirts, underwear, handkerchiefs.
Where is soap?
Soap? Hobson, who cares about soap? We're staying at the nicest hotel in Carson City. If he wants soap, he asks for soap.
Jamie not ask for soap in Ponderosa. Jamie not ask for soap in Carson City. You wait.
We do ourselves a favor and sneak out of here before Hobson gets back. We'll never make it to Carson City.
Not unless you want to do the cooking when you get back. Hobson, hurry up with the soap, please.
You wash every day behind the ear.
Yeah, right.
You know where to find us if you need us, Hobson, right?
Don't worry. Hobson in charge of Ponderosa. Nothing go wrong.
All right, let's go, everybody. Come on.
Bye, Hobson.
Well, I knew Mr. Cartwright would be punctual. We won't have to rush any preparations now.
He's a dead ringer for it.
Yes, isn't he? Because he looks a bit older. Ranching's a very hard life. My boy, I have a feeling this will be much easier and much more profitable than my first visit. Come on. Yes, splendid, splendid.
Hey, do you think it's safe in here?
Of course. We won't be disturbed here. Yeah.
Where'd you get those?
I acquired these on my last visit to the Ponderosa. Fortunately, the San Francisco pawnbroker hadn't disposed of them. Very good. Now, yes, let's get this coat now. Sure hope it fits. You break into a store at night, there are no alterations. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. My dear chap, you look very distinguished. No, not the pince-nez, no. Not for someone of your youth. I would use them in more tragic moments, by tapping the palm of your hand.
Oh, like this?
A bit more slowly, as if in deep thought. Splendid. You're the most intelligent pupil I've ever had. All right, now we have the tools of your trade, Doctor. Let's run over your professional background.
All right, I'm Dr. Gilbert Jordan, graduate. Isn't there some other way of doing this?
My friend, there's no need to be nervous. We will work with the full blessings of the law.
Hey, I don't trust those blessings.
Trust them? Have I been wrong yet?
Benny, all right?
Fine. Just fine.
What's the matter with him, Doctor?
There's a disturbance of the vascular system which could cause coagulation in the capillaries.
Oh. Where's Hoss and Joe?
Mr. Cartwright told him to stay in Carson City. He didn't want to spoil the celebration.
At a time like this?
Roy, I'm in the hands of a brilliant young doctor. Thank heavens he was in Carson City when I was stricken.
Well, it seems to me that if he's any kind of a doctor at all, he'd have you in bed, not sitting in a rig like this.
Mr. Cartwright insisted on stopping to see you.
Roy, I must make certain that my affairs are in order. Would you be good enough to get my lawyer out to the Ponderosa as quickly as possible?
Oh, what do you want with the lawyer? You're gonna be all right.
Of course, my dear friend. But we mustn't take anything for granted.
I'll have George Osgood out to the Ponderosa, even if I have to pull him out of bed. Now get him out to the ranch.
Eat hop sing soup. You feel better. I warn you. You get bellyache, you eat wrong kind of food.
Hop sing. Come here. I only wish it were Mr. Cartwright's stomach, but it's much more serious than that. He must have absolute quiet if there's to be any chance of recovery. Hop sing, no make no sound. Is he going to be underfoot all the time, is he?
No, Pop Sing is invaluable. Very trusting. I found out that the last time I was here.
Brother, if you think that's smart, you're going to smell up the whole room.
I can always open up the windows, get some fresh air. I need some relaxation. This dying is so strenuous.
Yes?
Relax.
Just one moment.
Don't be too sure now. The doctor's eminence is based on his ability to be vague. Stethoscope.
Chef,
Mr. Cartwright asked only to see his lawyer. Now, too many visitors would not be wise at a time like this.
Now, Josh Martin is not a visitor. He's Ben's own doctor. And I thought he ought to have a look.
I don't understand it. He was in my office only a week ago, and he couldn't have been in better shape.
Doctor, I assure you I'm completely qualified. I'm a graduate of the Columbia Medical
Young
School.
man, I don't care where you were graduated from. I was Ben's doctor before you were born.
Doctor, Mr. Cartwright is my patient. You're being highly unethical.
It's perfectly all right.
I'm warning you, Doctor. His condition is very, very precarious.
Right, doctor, there's almost no pulse. His fever's dangerously high. His breathing, I've never heard anything like it. I'll get a nurse over here immediately.
I don't need some old crone hovering over me. And you don't have to whisper. I am not afraid. Roy, didn't you bring my lawyer?
George Osgood is right here, Ben.
Dear George, I feel much safer with my legal right arm.
It's a shame the illness had to spoil your celebration, Ben.
It doesn't matter. What matters is the people of this great state who so honored me. I want to repay them.
You've been more than generous in your will.
Oh, not nearly enough. I want the people of Virginia City to have schools equal to any in the country. I want the fire department to have the finest equipment. I want hospitals. I want to make these bequests before it's too late, George, so I can see the beginnings.
Ben, you're a rich man, but you don't have that kind of ready cash. You'd have to sell off
All possessions are mere transitory things. What does it matter if I sell off all my cattle, my horses, my land? Roy, you'll help them find buyers before it's too late.
Ben, I'll have every qualified buyer in town out here tomorrow morning with cash in his pockets.
Bless you, Roy.
Gentlemen, please. Come along. You're taxing the patient's strength. Please.
Was I convincing? Did you feel that last extremity?
You scared the daylights out of me. When that doctor started to take your pulse, I thought I was going to run out of here.
Oh, simple trick. I learned it during the war. Tourniquet, here, have to take it off. The Army doesn't want any recruits without a pulse. Oh, and this hot iron was, you set that down, will you? A little uncomfortable, but it was excellent for the fever. And I must say, I just felt terrible for that poor old doctor. My breathing must have sounded horrible through the stethoscope. Little sandpaper does the trick.
Bradley, I've never met anyone like you. You're incredible.
Well, just careful planning. I knew the sheriff would check. You know, this deep concern.
And the Cartwrights will be back for another 3 days. We can sell off practically everything.
You stay exactly 24 hours. And then you will announce to the world that I've passed on to the great rancher in the sky. But I shall create a precedent. I will take it with me.
I think it's perfect.
I think it's a bit too perfect. This is the signature of a hale and hearty Ben Cartwright.
I think I know the price of everything. Cattle, land, horses, even Hop Sing's wages. I've got most of it right here.
Excellent. Wouldn't want to think we were being swindled.
How about that? I think that's perfect. Bradley, is there something you can't do, is there?
If it's dishonest, no.
Yes? Just a minute, please.
Did you tell the sheriff I'd be down just as soon as I could muster my strength?
I gave orders. I told him exactly that.
Down.
Yes? Oh, Dr. Martin. How is he? Well, the slender thread is holding.
Dr. Jordan, you've been absolutely selfless, but you cannot go without sleep 24 hours a day. I brought my nurse.
I don't need any ancient crone hovering over me.
My regular nurse, Miss Prendergast, is visiting her family, but Ellen has been very helpful in several cases. Ben, you remember Ellen? Lucy Clark's granddaughter.
Little Ellen, come over here, my dear. My. You've matured beautifully, Ellen.
Why, Mr. Cartwright, you saw me only last week.
This illness, my head.
Poor dear Mr. Cartwright.
Lovely, cool fingers, my dear.
Ben, I'm glad you decided to listen to reason.
I was sure he would. Dr. Martin, I think he's a little better today. I'll keep you informed if he takes any turn for the worse. I'll
Do that, Doctor.
I'll let you know, all right?
Yeah.
My dear, I feel my strength waning. Perhaps an alcohol rub.
I'm very good at that.
Oh,
Mr. Cartwright, I'm afraid we'll have to postpone the alcohol rub. There are businessmen waiting downstairs to see you.
yes, of course.
You never look better, Ben.
In the pink.
Doctor. Doctor,
Yes?
would you please prop up these pillows so I
I can see my friends.
Yes, there you go. Your friends are here, the Fowler brothers, Dan and Mac, the cattle dealers.
Oh, nice.
And Mayor Harlow's here with Sheriff Coffey and Mr. Osgood.
Now, you know that the cattle market has been very bad lately. But since it's you, Ben,
Our old good friend.
we're willing to pay $6 a head for 2,000 head.
$6 a head.
Gentlemen, please. You're upsetting the patient.
Dan, how can you drive a hard bargain at a time like this? We can go $8 a head, even if we lose money.
That's still $4 less than the market price.
Yes, gentlemen, let us not argue. If they wish to take advantage of my condition,
If they do, Ben, it's the last time they'll pull any of their shady deals on anybody. The mayor and I'll see to that. Mac, you're not fooling anybody with that good brother, bad brother act.
All right, we'll go $12 a head, but only out of the kindness of my heart. Do you have a bill of sale?
Right here. Now, Ben, you know how bad the horse market is today. But I'm going to give you, just out of sentiment and for old time's sake, $40 a head for that 300 horses you got up there in the North Pasture, and the same price for those you got in the corral, including the brood mare.
$50 a head.
Oh, you didn't hear me, Ben. I said $40 a head.
Mr. Henderson, this is no time for haggling.
Something wrong?
Didn't understand the price.
Everything seems so far away, so distant. Did he say $50 or $60?
But I didn't say either.
Mr. Henderson, this is not an auction block. If you have any shred of human decency.
You're right. I said $50 a head would be fine.
Ben, if this deal includes the mineral rights, I'd advise against it. We can wait.
We can't.
Now, there might be something on that land, there might not be. Look, after all, I'm the one taking the chances. All right, I'll give you $20 an acre, and you can take it or leave it.
Gentlemen, please. Mr. Cartwright can't take much more.
You shall have your pound of flesh. Give me the bill of sale, I'll sign it.
I don't want any bill of sale. I want it entered on the deed with mineral rights.
But the deed's still at the county recorder's office.
All right, you let me know when you get it.
Oh, my. George, dear George, I'm sure we'll be able to get it for you.
Ben, the county recorder's office is closed. They made it a legal holiday honoring you. We just have to wait until Monday.
Mr. Cartwright, don't you remember? The county recorder's office sent you the deed back.
I said that?
Yes. Gentlemen, if you'll just give me a little time with Mr. Cartwright's help in his more lucid moments, I'm sure we can find the deed. We'll have it for you by tomorrow morning.
Will he last until morning?
Well, I think I can pull him through. Good. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much. You've been invaluable. Thank you. Good afternoon. A hot second. Would you mind?
All right. How do we go about getting that deed?
Well, tonight I thought we might pay a little visit to the county recorder's office. I mean, a man with your talents, a small town safe shouldn't present any problem.
Jordan, there's $49,000 in that drawer. It's ample reward for one day's work. Let's just settle for that.
What's the matter, Bradley? Are you getting nervous?
No, I'm not getting nervous. I'm just experiencing a new sensation. Conscience. We've exploited the grief for a good man long enough.
You think we're doing the right thing, huh?
Oh, absolutely. My boys will never be so careless.
See how this strikes you. The Horson Joe and Carson. How can you remain in Carson City at a time like this? Suggest you get back immediately, signed Roy Coffey.
I only wish you could make it stronger.
Well, if I'd have wrote down here what I was thinking, this pepper'd be burning up right now.
I'll drop it off in the telegraph.
Thank you.
Hey, come along. You got everything?
Well, if I forget anything, Jamie can bring it later.
Don't you think you had to tell Pa about what you're doing? No, I don't want to bother him with it now. That's the way he's feeling. You can explain it to him when he wakes up.
Explain what? Oh. Paul, how's your stomach? Better?
Oh, I don't know what they put in the food in the governor's banquet last night. It feels like ground glass.
Didn't bother me none.
Nothing bothers you. There you go.
Well, we didn't want to bother you with this, but I guess you better take a look at it. It's a telegram we got from Roy Coffey.
Suggest you get back immediately. Oh, that's all about. Why would he send it to you, not to me?
He probably figures you're tied up with the festivities. Boss and I'll go back to the ranch. We'll check it out. If it's really serious, we'll send you wire at the barbecue.
I'm not going to be able to make it to the barbecue. The mere mention of the word sets my stomach to churning.
Paul, they're all going to be expecting you. You're the guest of honor.
I know. You boys will just have to do the honors for me and make apologies. Jeremy, you and I will ride back to the Ponderosa. That is, if you don't mind leaving the festivities.
No, I don't mind.
Jordan.
Yes, babe, open up. I got everything we need right here.
These are for amateurs. Where's your stethoscope? That's all I'll need. Use these on some job of your own.
Well, are you getting touchy or something, or what?
Well, since you insist on this caper, I reserve the right to choose my partner for the next engagement.
Oh, yeah, well, after this, you can do anything you want.
Quietly.
Is something wrong, Doctor?
No. I'm just going into town for some additional medication.
Oh, Mr. Cartwright hasn't had a relapse.
Oh, no. I'm happy to report that he's having his first comfortable night. But he must not be disturbed.
Oh.
Rest is the absolute key.
I will make a sound.
I knew I could count on you.
Doctor, can I tell you something? I wasn't sure I wanted to become a nurse, but working with you, I realized what a noble profession it is. I'm going to make it my life's work.
Ellen, you're much too pretty to waste your life in a drab uniform.
when I'm being so honored, it seems rather indecent.
The legal holiday is honoring Ben Cartwright, not you.
Yes. Well,
What's that?
flypaper. You call yourself a professional? I'll need a small rock. We'll need that. Keep it low.
Jamie, you better ride into town and ask Roy Coffey to come out to the Ponderosa. And get those pills from Dr. Martin, huh?
Right away, Pa.
Yeah, yeah.
Doc, Mr. Cartwright, what are you doing outside dressed?
Well, I'm usually dressed when I'm outside.
Oh, now you see what happens? How could you dare leave your bed for one moment?
Wait a minute. What are you doing here?
Oh, poor Mr. Cartwright. You'll remember just as soon as the fever goes.
Fever? Wait a minute. It's just a stomachache.
Please, Mr. Cartwright, if anything happens, I'll hold myself responsible.
I'm not sick.
Please, Mr. Cartwright, don't argue. It's only a miracle that you're still here. Now, you do want to get better, don't you? So you can see all the wonderful things you're doing for Virginia City?
Wonderful things I'm doing?
Oh, getting all that money for a schoolhouse, fire equipment, and a brand new hospital. Oh, you must be very proud.
Well, proud isn't the word.
You put this nightshirt on and climb right back into bed. Or do you want me to do it for you?
Oh, no, I can do it.
I'll be back in 2 minutes just to make sure.
vascular diseases. Meredith?
Now, that's better. That's my good patient.
Ellen, I know this illness has made me a bit vague, but does Dr. Martin think it's serious?
Oh, yes, and so does Dr. Jordan.
Dr. Jordan?
You were very lucky he was in Carson City. If he hadn't brought you back last night, there's no telling what might have happened.
That's a remarkable achievement.
I'm glad you appreciate it. Now, remember, I'll be in my room right across the hall. I don't want to see anyone wandering around again.
Get back in the bed. I can't. I can't exist on a patient's diet. I'll get you some food. Go away. We didn't put away the horses. We didn't. I'll do it.
Saying,
Who there?
it's me, Ben Cartwright. Open up.
Mr. Cartwright, Hobson's not allowed to talk to you. You fairly sick man. You not to be bothered.
Hopsing, open this door.
Mr. Cartwright, please no die. You go back to bed. Go back to bed.
Mr. Cartwright, I don't know what I'm going to do with you. That's better.
Ellen, suppose I were to tell you there are two Ben Cartwrights.
Of course. And maybe 3 or 4, but tomorrow when you feel better, they'll all go away. And you try to get some rest. For your own sake.
Here. I'm saying, can you hear me? That fella's back. The fella that looks like me, that was here a while ago, that Meredith fella, he's back.
He's back up.
Mr. Cartwright, you're just throwing your life away.
What happened? Where am I?
Oh, you have no idea what you're doing to me, wandering around every which way.
I'm sorry to have upset you, my dear.
Well, if you do it again, I'll just have to tell Dr. Jordan.
Oh, no. No, don't do that. Oh. Now, a good night kiss, and I shall sleep like a babe.
That's more like my Ben Cartwright.
Thank you, my dear.
Hobson do exactly what Mr. Cartwright say. He forget all about Dr. Jordan.
Good. Oh, one more thing. Don't say a word until Sheriff Coffey gets here.
Hobson no say nothing. He used to it.
Welcome back, Mr. Meredith.
Ellen?
Oh, how could you dare come here after what you've done?
Ellen, I had to say goodbye before I give myself up.
Well, you might have saved yourself the trouble.
Ellen, you don't understand. I'm innocent. I was fooled by Meredith like everyone else. He's clever.
And what about all that money you took?
Ellen, I don't know anything about the money. When Mr. Cartwright arrived, I just panicked and ran. I saw my whole medical career finished. Ellen, it doesn't matter what happens to me, but I could have done so much to ease the suffering of other people.
Well, you can explain all this to the sheriff and Mr. Cartwright.
No. It's too late. I'll be tarred by the same brush as Meredith. If I hadn't lost my head, I would have been on my way to California. A few months of research, and I would have found what I had been searching for years.
What?
The cure for yellow fever.
Well, the world mustn't suffer for this one mistake.
I hated to ask you to come into town. We've been questioning your friend Meredith all morning long and just getting nowhere.
My friend Meredith? Well, what do you think I can do?
Well, maybe you could get him to listen to reason. Coughlin, bring in the prisoner.
Still no trace of Jordan?
None. And no trace of the $49,000 either. You have just got to make this man talk.
I'd be delighted to talk, Mr. Cartwright. I just don't have the answers the sheriff wants. Now, would you please take these handcuffs off? They're not only restricting, they're humiliating.
You are keeping them on. Not just for safety, but just so as I can tell you two apart. All right. Tell me, where is Jordan hiding out?
I don't know. He neglected to leave his forwarding address, as I told you. It saved him the trouble of splitting the money.
Meredith, I got a record on you that is so long it won't even fit into that desk drawer.
Mr. Cartwright, would you please tell this strong arm of the law that I would be delighted to help him find Mr. Jordan. I don't like being swindled any more than any honest man does. Roy, I believe he's telling the truth. I think it must be very difficult for a man like Meredith to admit to the fact that he has been taken.
I'm not buying it, Ben. Meredith, do you have any idea the damage that you've done here? The Fowler brothers and Walt Henderson are screaming for the return of their $49,000, or they want my scalp.
Oh, and they're such decent men.
And the young Clark girl is leaving Virginia City for good.
What?
That's right. Doc Martin was just here and gave me the news. Ellen is so ashamed of what happened that she just can't face anybody. So they're leaving town for good.
How very strange.
Coughlin, take him away.
Oh, wait a minute, Sheriff. Wait a minute. May I sit down? Excuse me. I think I might be able to help you after all.
I kind of thought he'd come back to him.
No, Sheriff. No. It's something that I finally figured out.
Well, let's have it. Where's Jordan?
I shall be very happy to lead you to him on one condition, that I am allowed to go with you.
I'm making no deals. Not with you.
Mr. Cartwright, the sheriff is being most impractical. I'm offering $49,000 for the satisfaction of seeing a dishonest man get his just deserts. Roy, take the chance.
Ben, how in the world did you ever let him talk you into a thing like this? I'm not going to be embarrassed by asking a sweet old lady like Mrs. Clark a lot of fool questions.
I think you'd be rather surprised at sweet old Mrs. Clark.
Ben, you can make a fool of yourself if you want to, but I'm taking this man into town.
That will be all, Doctor.
You're making a terrible mistake. He's a fine man.
He's a fine man, all right. He's wanted in 6 states. I gotta hand it to you, Meredith. Where'd he go? No. Who let him get away?
He'll be back someday. I'm afraid.